Hi everyone and welcome back to Chess for Charity. In this video, I'm going to show you a super cool puzzle where it is white to play and win. Crazy enough, white can win in this position. However, it's much harder than you might think. So, take a second, see if you can figure it out. Just to level set here, these pawns are going down the board. This pawn would love to promote, and we'll talk about all the variations. Notice that a lot of these pieces are jammed at the moment, and that's going to play a factor, but there's a lot to it. So, take a moment, see if you can figure it out. Like I said, it's fascinating. There are so many ways that white can win, and then they can just throw away the game in one move. So I'd really recommend seeing how far you can figure this out before just saying you get it. While you're thinking about that, let me ask you to subscribe if you haven't yet already. Half of the income that I earn in this channel goes directly to charity, so every like, every subscriber, all that stuff helps out so much, including channel members. If you become a member, that's fantastic. Thank you so much. Let's see if we can get that going. Okay, so the first thing I should say is white to move. They really only have two moves, right? You can, I guess I should talk about it, but this pawn can't move. This king can move. And they can move three places. 1, 2, 3. If you go here, this is like immediately thrown out because maybe your idea is to like promote to a knight and give checkmate, which sounds cool, but immediately this pawn is pinned because of this bishop, and then you're lost. King b8, and do you take this? Do you do that? It's fine. Don't stalemate them, but it's fine. Anyway, that's not a move you want to think about. Really, these two moves are the only moves you should be thinking about. So, hopefully you threw that one out right away, but if you didn't, that's okay. Just make sure you don't fall for that pin, because you have to notice this bishop in the corner. So now you have to ask yourself, do I go to c8 or c7? Well, let's just talk about it. If you go to c8, just to let your pawn go, that's a blunder. This actually loses the game on the spot. You might say, how? What is happening here? Well, same idea. Bishop e4 is the only defense. And you might say, great, but can't I just promote to a queen and I have a queen now? Yeah, you do, but how are you going to checkmate my king? And you might be like, well, I really can't go here. I can't go here. This bishop is playing really good defense. How could I attack this king? And there are two ways to talk about. The first way is to set up a configuration. Let me just make some passing moves to show you the concept. Make a configuration like this, where your queen and your king kind of switch places and you can mate on a7. That would be nice. The other configuration is, what if you can play king here and then b6 becomes the target? So just again, making passing moves for black. Those are the two ways you'd like to configure a checkmate. However, after this move and you promote, you can't do either of those because black has one defensive resource. Only one move saves the game for black. Can you find that move? That move is pawn c2. You might be like, okay, what's the big deal? What is this move doing? It's letting this rook free. So now, remember I was saying to, play here and put some pressure on b6? Well, now you can't do that. Rook here is very annoying. You get kicked away, and now these pawns are just too good. b3, letting the queen out. As much as I care about these pawns, I'm letting pieces out. That's the goal. So c2 saves the game because for both reasons, it won't work. This checkmate won't work. Like I was saying, if you go to do here to switch this configuration and play queen a7 mate, well, your queen is now pinned and you lost. So that's rough. So there's really only one way to proceed. After this bishop move, you would be losing if you played king to c8. Okay, so then king c7 is the right move. Super cool. But again, you have to be worried about this. So let's talk about the best defenses and maybe some of the things that you might want to think about. So let's say you play, and I should go back a second. If you play this other move and you play here, you might think, oh, what if I just promote to a knight? That's not going to do anything, right? You just, king moves. I have no other moves to really make. Not much more to talk about in that variation. And I should also talk about, there's no other way in this position to give checkmate. This bishop is so strong on this diagonal, and you can't get the right coordination. C2 saves the game for black. So just make sure I make that really clear. So again, king c8 loses. King c7 is the way to go. Okay, so now, wouldn't this idea still work? Well, let's talk about it. So if they play c2 with this idea of checking the black king, right? We just did that and it was fine. Doesn't that work or does it not? The answer might surprise you. The answer is it doesn't work. The best move in this position, it's going to blow your mind. You could promote to a queen just to show this. You could do this. You'll still win the game. They can check you. You can walk away. And there's not going to be an issue here. The best thing to do, you're going to give mate in the corner quick. So this is the best way. Rook c7, king takes, and then pick your favorite move. And then this is mate or that's mate. I think that's a cool looking mate. So this move, let me make it, this move is great, but I want to go back. I'm getting too excited. I want to show you in this position, what is the best way to win? Surprisingly, you just played king to c7. They played c2. Your best move is to go right back to b8. I'm going to put an exclamation point on this. And you might say, what? Why? Well, now this bishop is blocked in. They can't go here and put this pressure, which means now you have the ability to just win the game on the spot. So let's say they play here. Doesn't matter. You play this nice move. And what do? You're threatening pawn promote to a knight for checkmate. Here's a cool variation. If they check you, you can take this. You could promote to a queen, but it's cooler to promote to a bishop and give checkmate. So really, there's nothing to do. They make a move, and you just give knight checkmate. Super cool. I love this puzzle. It's really complicated. I think the first thing I liked about it was the fact that these two moves feel so equivalent. And of course, king a8 just gets thrown out quickly. But this move is just a horrific blunder because of this nice defensive resource. And there's nothing in this position you can do, right? If you make any passing move, they can just take this on the spot. So you have to move the pawn, but then you lose. I just love this detail that's the only thing that works. This c2 move is done in this case, it doesn't matter. And I should also share, like, the computer will suggest knight e3. Doesn't change anything. You promote to a queen. They check you, you move away. There's nothing to really worry about. They can't check you anymore anyway. So maybe this, doesn't matter. Super cool. If you enjoyed it, let me know. I love these kinds of puzzles. Just really weird configurations on the board. I love the way it looks. But yeah, that's it for now. Thank you so much for watching. And until next time, bye.